Who can name that dance? I think it was called the Penn State. Either way, I grew up in LA, and it was an LA dance. Who can name this dance? Here we go. You're dating yourself if you even know what these dances are. I'm not even gonna attempt to do the Roger Rabbit, but I just think it's funny that there was a dance called Roger Rabbit. Either way, blessings and blessings. What's up, tribe? Today I'm coming in because there's an interesting term that a lot of people use that I have extricated, eliminated, given a permission slip never to come back into my linguistic world. And one of the reasons why I never use this language is because it's literally creative. And for the most part, it's bullshit. And I'm gonna tell you why I can't afford it is bullshit and code word for something else. Code word that it's really saying is I don't see the value. And some of that is on the consumer, and a lot of it is on the business owner, right? So this is something that we as business owners, entrepreneurs, get to look at and figure out how to help people see the value in. Now, my dog is currently trying to knock over all of his food. Give me a second. I have a 3-month-old puppy, and he's trying to knock his food over so he can eat it outside the bowl. Okay, so this idea, there we go, knocked it down. This idea that I can't afford it, right? So like we're in the midst of a Mancave launch, and there's so many amazing guys that are coming in. And also, whenever we launch and do this type of work, it brings up all of this stuff for people, these money conversations, right? This idea that, my work, this kind of work should be free, and everything else, you should pay for basketball tickets and concert tickets and everything else, but something that could change and shift your life forever should be free. And, for me, of course, I'm like, bullshit, like, I pay the cost to be the boss. I've been in this work for almost 13, 14 years. And I also have coaches. I invest in myself. And I understand the value of the whole thing. But I really want to say this because I want us to understand it from a few angles. Like I said, from a consumer perspective, I can't afford it is really I choose not to afford it. So I would challenge you to take that linguistics, that language, out of your vocabulary, period, for the rest of your life. Because it's not true. And let me tell you why it's not true. If I had a gun to your mother's head or your partner's head or your child's head and I said, hey, you know that thing you said you can't afford? Well, you have 24 hours to figure out how to afford it. Go. In that moment, what are you going to do? You go, you know what? Can't afford it. Gotta keep my cable on, gotta be watching Game of Thrones, gotta have the newest iPhone, gotta have the newest shoes, gotta have this expensive car, gotta have X, Y, and Z. Nope, mom's dead, daughter's dead, everybody's dead because I gotta have those things. Or are you gonna figure out a way, right? This is the thing, this is the distinction between, and the reason why the broke stay broke and and I don't mean broke as in like, nobody's broken. But the mentality, the paradigm of the mental construct of, money. This is why those type of people, which I was for freaking most of my life, stay broke. And those who have a different paradigm get wealthier and richer. And this is why it's so important, because there's a hustler spirit in each and every one of us. We all can be resourceful in our thinking and circumstances, if we so choose. But a lot of us sit and rest on our laurels, and we have this sort of unconscious bullshit privilege thing where there's a thought that certain things are beneath me. And so this beneath me consciousness, this like, oh no, like, Can't afford it, sorry, it's not in my account right now, so can't afford it, is actually one of the things that keeps people in the same position that they were years and years and years and years. And I've seen it. I have friends and family who I've seen year after year say, I want a certain thing. Out of their mouth comes words. But what the actions that they choose, what they actually do on the other side of that is completely different. And this is why, in my opinion, why I will always be successful, because I'll do whatever it takes. I'll move mountains. I do not have the linguistics. I never say I can't afford it. What I say is I choose not to afford it. What I say is it's not right now. What I say is I'm in the process. I'll figure that out. That language is the language of possibility. That language is opening. It's life-giving instead of life-taking. Yes, Seth, I'm not willing to sacrifice for it, right? In all of my programs, I teach the same principle. You got to give up to go up. Give up to grow up. Elevation requires separation. But the question is, what are you still holding on to that you need to be to cut the cords from? Like I said, people say they can't afford it, but they also have cable and the newest shoes and the newest iPhones and the newest all kinds of stupid stuff that does not move the needle on that which you say you truly want in your life. And so, what's that statement? You can judge a tree by the fruit that it bears, right? Not by what it says, by the fruit that it bears. And then, now let's go responsibility and go even deeper for you entrepreneurs and those of you who have programs and coaches and all that, coaching packages and all that stuff. I'm actually creating a program for coaches right now, and this is one of the things I've been deeply sitting in. Like, when someone says I can't afford it, what they're also saying is I don't see the value. And so it's on you, on us, to create and speak to their listening in such a way where they do see the value. And one of the things I teach in my programs, which I learned from somebody else, is urbans and lurbans. Urbans are emotional reasons to buy, and lurbans are logical reasons to buy. We buy on emotion and justify it through logic. We buy on emotion and justify it through logic. Write 3 things you've bought on emotion, even in the last 2 weeks. I can tell you right now, I bought a surfboard on emotion. Did I do some research? Absolutely. Did I need a surfboard? Absolutely not. I bought on emotion and I justified with logic. I looked it up, I researched it, I made all this whole elaborate story up about why I need to switch to this performance shortboard called a Cymatic and why this is going to be good for my health and everything else. And I just justified, right? So I bought from emotion, justified with logic. This is literally and legitimately what we're always doing. Even if it's a freaking iced vanilla latte, we're buying from emotion and justifying with logic. Okay, I'm going to buy this latte because I'm going to need energy later. And you know what? It's been a long night, so gotta buy it, right? As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as somebody who has a product, a gift, something you're selling, giving to the planet, that's the thing you have to figure out, is what is the emotional tie to the thing that somebody would want to buy into. And, some of us have some things up against us because our society doesn't value certain things. Like, for instance, Mancave, for a lot of guys, is one of the last things they would do is invest in themselves. Because to them, it's more important for them to have a fancy car or just, whatever, save money than it is for them to better themselves and truly take a deeper look at who they are and how they're showing up in the container, in the context of being with other conscious men and looking at and addressing their porn addiction and all the other stuff that they haven't been willing to face. This, for our society, is maybe not. But those same guys will buy a business program. Those same guys will go on a vacation to Hawaii. And so I challenge that. It's something we're working with. Something we're working with, not against. But it makes it a little more challenging. So it depends on your business and what you're up to. Blessings and blessings. I love you all from my studio in Playa Vista, California. Life is so good. Life is so beautiful. And so it is. If you want to work with me or my crew or my tribe, we have a actual free meetup at Temescal Canyon, 8 a.m. tomorrow in Los Angeles, California. Mancave, only men. Otherwise, PrestonSmiles.com for everything else. Peace.